Well, hello and good day to all of you wonderful viewers out there. Hi, I'm Awesome Joe, and thank you guys so much for taking in the time of your day to watching another episode of Awesome Joe's Movie Reviews. And today, we're going to be talking about Season 1 of It, Welcome to Derry. Just premiered the season finale last night, and I went ahead and watched it, and because out of the way that I felt after the 7th episode, my goodness, it was just heartbreaking. It was a very entertaining hour of horror and drama, and just the way that it cliffhangered, it was something that you just needed to see what happens next. And right now, I'm doing some changes right now. Like right now, I've never done this before, but I have my computer right here in front of me to give me some more information as to things to help me when I'm talking on my reviews. So I'm really just trying to change things up here to be a little bit more professional, because I do have some difficulty trying to remember character names and the actors who portray those characters. Sometimes I'm very familiar with whom the directors are, but there's times where I would really love to talk about the cinematographies, the choreographies, the effects, everything, and I forget to write down notes. And so if I forget to write down notes, then I forget what I'm talking about. So it makes the video a little bit more complicated to talk about. But yeah, Welcome to Derry. They have been working on this project for a good long while, and the last movie we got, It Chapter 2, was back in 2019, and yeah, it's already been 5, 6, 7 years later, and now we finally get this. I remember hearing about it when they first went ahead and announced that they were doing this, and I'm thinking to myself, how wonderful. We all loved those two movies, even though the second one wasn't as good as the first one. They both were still very great. The first one was highly successful. But yes, here we are going back to the world of Derry, the world of Pennywise, the world of the Deadlights, everything, the world of Stephen King in general. Now, I've never read any of the Stephen King books. I haven't watched many of films of Stephen King adaptations from the books. But I have seen the original It with Tim Curry back in the day. I have seen The Mist. I have seen The Shining. Although I'm not really I didn't really understand that movie. But I know that a lot of it is put into this. Seems as though they're really combining stories from different books into one in particular storyline, which, of course, it looks like they're doing a Stephen King universe, bringing in all of his stories coming together in one. But this one in particularly because it's the most favorable. But yes, we do get, I know this one already, Andy Muschietti, who did direct the two movies, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. And he does come back to direct the series. That's great because I know that he was in talks of having to doing the Batman movie for DC Studios, and I know that he did direct The Flash. That was okay movie. But yeah, I really do love his work. He does do a great job. We even get returning back Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise, and one of the things that really got people to, not a lot of people, but viewers to complain about when it came to the series was the fact that they want to see Pennywise. I wanted to see Pennywise, but I understand Pennywise is only one of his favorable shapes that he loves to take on to develop the fear into mostly the children to feed off of from. So he's not a character. He's a character, but what he's portraying is not who he truly is. It's not his true form. He takes upon so many different kinds, but having to being Pennywise the clown is his most favorable one. And they actually do give an explanation of this during this season. Um, you know, at times it's really difficult to do a prequel story prior to its greatest successor that it originated from. But it's hard to do that because you have to put the puzzle bits and pieces together in order to make the story to make sense out of it. Um, but here, I think that you can really tell that they did their homework. They did a lot of researching into knowing what they're intending to do, because not only now that we have those two movies and we have the season 1 of Welcome to Derry, but it looks as though their intentions are to have 2 more seasons, but not going further, but going backwards. Since this first season takes place in 1962, and it looks as though the second season is going to be taking place backwards another 27 years prior to that time, to the 1930s. And then the third season will be taking its place another 27 years before that, back to 1908. So there's there's a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of mentionings as to what happened within those time periods in the movie back in 2017. And I didn't really fully understand that until I saw this show, and I remembered that, oh yeah, that's right, they did mention that. They did talk about this and that, and what Pennywise did here and there, and he was all part of those big disastrous events. So, and it's great that we are experiencing that in the show. So, because I did ask myself, that is like, how is it that we're going to be exploring a character that we already know what's going to happen to him in the movies, and I love on what they do when they give this explanation out in the season finale, and it really does uplift you to wanting to watch more in the following seasons that's to come. But yeah, Bill Skarsgård is amazing in this, and I mean, he did great in the movies, and he did even better in this. You would think that just because the first half of the season you didn't see Pennywise, that you were not going to get enough Pennywise. No, the second half of the season you see a lot of him, and it's fantastic. I love all the other scary forms that he takes himself on, but yeah, Pennywise is definitely a very scary form, his most favorable one, and he uses it to the best of his abilities to perform that character onto the show, and even in the movies too. It's just phenomenal. One of the characters that I really love a lot watching into this is the character Ingrid Kirsch, which is played by Madeline Stowe. I love this actress. I've only ever seen her in another show, and she's my most favorable one, that she plays in the she plays Victoria in the show Revenge. Her performance was amazing in that show, and I see her in this, and I'm just like, wow, she's just great. And knowing that she is the old lady that was in It Chapter 2 with Beverly Marsh when she's older. It's not actually her, but it's form. But yeah, it's just great getting to see her, and the way that she is in this show is just great. It seems as though, according to the flashback, that she is the daughter to the original Pennywise back in 1908, and I love on how we get that flashback. It really does explain a lot, because you would think to yourself, and it's pretty obvious, but I love on how they explained it, where they mentioned that Pennywise, not Pennywise, but the it confronts the real Pennywise and lets him know that, listen, what you're doing is fantastic, and it lures these kids to favor you and be with you. You're luring these kids to you through the way you perform yourself in front of them, and he wants that too, so he takes that from him. He says that he ate him to his daughter, but I don't really think that's the case. He's like, he was looking back and forth, thinking, it's like, oh yeah, that's right, yeah, I did eat him. And I think that he was only doing that just to scare her, because she becomes a clown herself to impress her dad. They were gonna do an act together, and of course, obviously, that didn't work out. She believes that Pennywise is her actual father, which of course, obviously, is not. But he does know some of the things that familiarizes her to believe that he is her dad, and but yeah, it's just great and fantastic on how all of this is well put together. You do get, excuse me here, let's see here. You do get a lot of these new kid characters. One in particular is Matilda Lawler, which plays Marge. Okay, at first I didn't know that she was going to be one of the main characters, because half of the season you rarely even see her, but then she gets more connected, and once she interacts with she's more involved into the story, and I love her chemistry with the way that she shares this with another character named Rich, which I thought to myself that, wait a second, there's already a character named Richie in the 1980s, which is this kid is called named Arian Cartea, so which plays the character Rich Santos, and they have this little love chemistry between the two, and it's just heartbreaking because a lot of these characters actually do die. They get killed in many different ways, but especially through Pennywise. But this one in particularly, it was the most heartbreaking. This is what really captured a lot of audience's attention to the 7th episode before the season finale, is how he sacrifices himself during a building building on fire, which they call the black spot. He saves Marge's life, putting her in an ice chest and sealing her in there to keep her from dying. And the way that he dies, I mean, Pennywise does not kill him, but he dies in the fire with all the smoke and stuff. He suffered, and it was just, wow, it was very heartbreaking, and getting to seeing him come back and his ghost figure to save the day, to help save the day, that was just fantastic. He was really a knight, and the way that they explain on what happens to the Marge character when she is confronted by Pennywise, this is what really captured my attention, is knowing that it was pretty obvious too that she is going to have in remembrance of Rich by naming her son Richie, which is of course Richie that we know, that's Finn Wolfhard in the 1989 It timeline. But the way that she finds out is that apparently It is not going through a timeline parallel to ours. Since he's a dimensional being, he dies. He gets killed off by the losers, all grown up in the 2019 film. Now he's going through different time periods. It's the way that we are confronted with It in this show, in this season, is the Pennywise after he is dead, when he gets killed off in chapter 2. That's where it furthers the story. We think we're going backwards, but really we're going forwards. Not through the human perspective, the human character's perspective, but through Pennywise's perspective. How amazing is that? That is fantastic. I love that they revealed that in this. And it gives us the hope of knowing that it's like a Terminator thing, He's, they even bring up in a conversation that she mentions that everything that he had explained to her states that he's on a mission right now to kill the ones who followed the bloodlines to the original losers who killed him, killing them in the past, killing the parents or any ancestral bloodlines to them, killing them in order to prevent him from getting killed off. How wonderful is that? That's true. Like that's like Skynet stuff, you know, going back in time and killing, you know, killing Sarah Connor, so you don't have a John Connor, and who's leader of the resistance, and saving all humankind. How amazing is that? That's fantastic. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this story furthers itself forward. That's fantastic. There's another character that caught my attention. It's called Dick Halloran. It's just played by Chris Chalk. He's the one that really got me iffy about this whole thing. I was like thinking, because he has his telekinetic powers. I don't know how do you pronounce it. Telekinetic powers in this, and it's what it's what helps give a little explanation to where the story is moving itself towards. But the whole telekinetic power thing I didn't get. But having to find out that this is actually a character in the Shining storyline is okay. I understand now. I understand what you're doing, because when the series first started, the season started, the second episode, I was a little lost. I was a little dragged down, because we're being introduced to the military, and that they have a mission. They're not revealing as to what their morals are just yet. Just feeding you bits and pieces here and there as to what we're looking for, what they're looking for. And I was just getting lost, and only thinking to myself that, how is it that all this has happened before everything that we know from It Chapter 1 and It Chapter 2? It really explains itself further down each episode at a time, and the more you continue to watch, the more it makes sense. So I highly understand what they were trying to do here. It was just a great series, a great season, and I'm looking forward to the next two. I'm definitely in. As to when they're going to be happening, don't know, but I'm very much looking forward to it. And they have a mid-credit scene that reveals about Mrs. Kirsch, who she's the same old lady that was in It Chapter 2. She had passed away, according to the credits, stating that in remembrance of her performance, she had passed away. So, which is sad. But yeah, she did great. She does that eerie smile, like how she did in the movie and in the trailer itself. And I'm just like, ooh, what a wonderful performance. But yeah, she comes back. She's the older Mrs. Kirsch, and you hear a scream. It was 27 years later, in a year before It Chapter 1, and you see that another patient has killed herself. She hung herself, and it's, lo and behold, it's actually the mother to Beverly Marsh, and we see a cameo appearance from that actress. I forgot the name. See, this is why I need the laptop for, because I have some difficulties having to remembering these things, and I really do wish that I had written the notes down. But yeah, Beverly Marsh, who comes back with the actress playing, oh my gosh, it doesn't even show in this, all this, the cast here. Here she is. Sophia Lillis, there she is. They don't show the dad, because the dad is showing some resentment towards the Beverly, so that's the dad. But yeah, you see Sophia Lillis, and she's supposed to be the this girl a year prior, before It Chapter 1, but you can tell she's gotten older. Of course she's gotten older. It's almost been 10 years now. And but yeah, she's supposed to be that little girl. But yeah, it was great getting to see her, and it's fantastic because when you watch it, you're thinking there's a possibility that Beverly Marsh is actually the daughter to one of the kid actresses for the Welcome to Derry show. I'm trying to find her here. I would think, because she's one of the lead actresses in this show, you would think that she would be on here. But yeah, no, I don't see it here. That's strange. But anyways, yeah, I would think that she's the daughter of her, because it shows that she has some history of mental illness and being in the mental hospital. And since this character she kills herself, it seems as though it could be most likely. It could happen. Um, and that's something that they even mentioned to in It Chapter One, is the idea that I mean It Chapter Two is that within time they do get killed, they do die, uh, before the next feeding time of the deadlights of it. Uh, so I think that that's what happens. Like they eventually kill themselves, or they die because of their interactions with it. So it's just, I mean, mind blowing stories, mind blowing. It's really great. I really do love this so much. Um, I this is one of the things that I'm really excited for, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna do it from what it looks like of the Muschietis doing this, is that because according to what I found out, or that I've known for some time, like I said, I've never read the books, but from what I found out through research, is that since it is is a dimensional being from another dimension, which, by the way, I love the mist Easter egg and how they do that at the beginning of the final episode. It was a big reference to it, and I love the mist movie. But yeah, is the fact that it is from another dimension, and his greatest foe, his enemy, is some giant turtle. I forgot the name. Like I said, I'm still new to looking up this information on the computer. But yeah, is this giant turtle, and you get a lot of turtle references in this season. You even get it in the shows as well too. I mean, in the movies as well too. But in this season, you see a lot of them. One of them, protecting one of the pillars that they locate in one of the episodes, and then you get a turtle mascot. That's just wow. I mean, it's just all of these references. I feel like they're leading towards the interaction that I believe it will be in the last season, where it is confronted by this it's supposed to be some gigantic turtle being, some kind of god, and I feel like we're gonna see that in the last season. I'm really looking forward to it if that's the case. So a lot of stuff to look forward to. I thought that this was gonna help me die down some time to this video. Try to make it between 5 to 10 minutes, but obviously I cannot. There's just so much information that needs to be explained. But yeah, this was a really great show, and I really do recommend a lot of people to go and watching it. But like I said, once you watch it, and if you don't understand it, just keep watching. Each episode at a time explains what it's taking you towards, and by the end of it, you'll be completely satisfied. You'll be completely entertained. It's going to be a fun, excellent time. But yeah, it's Welcome to Derry season 1. Since I had some complications with it, but yet the season itself, it's still a great time. I'm just gonna go ahead and rate this to giving it a good 86%. I think that's a really great rating. I think that it could have been higher, but that's just where I feel it to be at. And I'm looking forward to seeing what season 2 and season 3 has in store for us. So anyways, you guys, that's it. Welcome to Derry season 1, my review towards that. What did you guys think? Did you guys check out the whole season? If so, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section in the bottom. Let's have an awesome time talking about this, or any movies, movie related stories that you like to talk about, because I love to talk about movies, but most importantly, I love to talk about them with you. And don't forget that you can check out some more of my videos on YouTube. Just look me up at Awesome Joe Movie Reviews. And don't forget to click on that like and subscribe button there. I really do appreciate it for everybody who has not done that just yet. And also click on that notification bell for future videos. It's taken me quite a while to put some videos out there, because of course it's December, it's Christmas time. I was busy putting up decorations, going Christmas shopping, and wrapping up gifts. So as you can tell, I'm really in the Christmas spirit, and I'm just it's one of my favorite times of the year. You know, my favorite, of course, as you all know, is Halloween. So, but this one would be my second to best favorite. And there's just so much more that I need to talk about in other videos. A lot of stuff is happening in the world of Hollywood. I want to talk about some recent trailers that were just released with Supergirl, and then with Street Fighter. That was a shocker there. and a few Christmas flicks that I was really intending to talk with you guys about. So hopefully I get to it before Christmas time. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I would love to talk about. But Welcome to Derry was one of the first ones I wanted to talk about, and I have, and I'm really happy that I did. But yeah, everybody, I'm Awesome Joe. Everybody, keep on living the dream, and as always, stay awesome. Thanks you guys once more again, and I'll see everybody in the next video.